SBA Publications.
Hello, dear students. How are you all? This is your mentor Vedika, and today I am here with a new chapter for you people to learn. And it is our third chapter, and the name of the chapter is Pronouns. So, as you have already learned about nouns, now we are going to move to our next topic, that is pronouns. So, what are pronouns? These are the words that we use in place of the nouns. For example, when we are talking about someone, for example, let's take a name Sneha. Sneha is a very beautiful lady, and so this is the first sentence. Now I want to say something more about her. So I will not say Sneha is a beautiful lady. Sneha works in this company. Sneha is 5 feet tall. Sneha is a very good dancer. I will not keep saying her name again and again. Okay, so what will I do? In the first sentence only I will use her name, and in the next coming sentences I will use a pronoun in place of her name. For example, Sneha is a very beautiful lady. She loves to cook and she works for a company. Okay, so this was the example that I wanted to give you. Now let's see what is given in your book. A pronoun is a word that can be used in place of a noun. So, as I have already told you, pronoun is a word that can be used in the place of a noun or a noun phrase. How? Let's see. Let's compare the following. Ranganathan met Priyanka in the market. Ranganathan invited Priyanka to his house. Priyanka agreed. Ranganathan thanked Priyanka for this. Now, Ranganathan met Priyanka in the market. He invited her to his house. She agreed. He thanked her for this. So, what are the differences? The words he, she, her in the second set are used for nouns Ranganathan and Priyanka. So, the example I gave you, same way an example is given in your book. Okay, so such words are called pronouns. So, in the first paragraph, we are continuously using the names of the people Ranganathan and Priyanka, and in the second set, we are using the names only in the first sentence. Then we have replaced their names with pronouns like he, she, his and her. Okay, so these are the examples of your pronouns. Let's see what are the kinds of pronouns. Pronouns are of the following kinds. So let's see what is the first one. First one is personal pronouns. What are personal pronouns? The pronouns that is used in place of a person, an animal, a thing or place, etc. A personal pronoun is a pronoun that is used in the place of a person, an animal, thing or place, etc. So, personal pronouns are so called because they stand for three persons. अब हम इन्हें personal pronouns क्यों कहते हैं? Because they stand for three persons. What are these three persons? First person, second person and third person. So, let's see what first person is. First person stands for the person speaking about. So, the person who is speaking about or who we are speaking about is the first person. For example, I, we, my, mine, our, me, us. So the person who is speaking, like I am speaking to you. So I am the first person. Okay? Here in this video, I am the first person. Second person stands for the person spoken to. अब जिस person से मैं बात कर रही हूँ, I am speaking to you people. You are the students. I am the teacher. I am the first person here because I am speaking and you are listening. I am talking to you. So you become the second person. Okay. So the examples are you, your, thee or thine, etc. So thee and thine are basically the words used in Shakespearean English, which these words we will not get them in our chapters, but in some of the poems we can find such words. Alright, so basically you and your are the second person. I am the first person, you are the second person. Now let's see what a third person is. Third person stands for the person spoken of. The person speaking to and the person speaking of, यानी कि जिसके बारे में बात हो रही है. मैं आपसे बात कर रही हूँ तो मैं फर्स्ट पर्सन, जो सुन रहा है वो सेकंड पर्सन, और मैं किसी थर्ड पर्सन के बारे में बात कर रही हूँ, सो इट बेसिकली बिकम्स अ थर्ड पर्सन प्रोनाउन, राइट. मैं आपसे किसी के बारे में बात कर रही हूँ, सो वो थर्ड पर्सन हो जाएंगे एंड वी विल रिमेन फर्स्ट एंड सेकंड पर्सन. So the examples of third person pronouns are he, she, it, they, him, her, them, his, their, its, etc. So these are all the examples of third person pronouns. Let's see what is the meaning of number given here. A personal pronoun may be singular or plural. Now, एक personal pronoun singular भी हो सकता है and plural भी हो सकता है. Here, I am a singular person and I am the first person, right? But you are not only one student watching this video. There are many students, so you all become second person and even plural also, right? Now, here we are given a very beautiful table so that we can learn our person pronouns very easily. First person, in singular first person is I, my and mine, okay? And in plural our first person pronoun is we, our and us. Now, same way in the second one, the singular one is you, your, thou, thy, thine, thee and thine, okay? So these are all the second person pronouns in singular form. In plural, we have again you, your, yours, thou, thy. Okay, so these are all the plural second person pronouns that is very much similar. And we can say completely same. Third person pronouns in singular are he, she, it, her, his, him and hers. Now, in plural, we have they, them, their and theirs. Alright, so this is the table and if you learn it, it will be very helpful for you. So, now there is a personal pronoun may be of masculine or feminine or neutral gender. So, we have given another condition that is of a gender and it can be of either masculine, either feminine or either neutral gender. So, in masculine gender, we have he, his and him. The personal pronouns have gender also and the masculine is he, his and him. In feminines, we have she, her and hers, okay? In neuter gender, we have it and its. And in both masculine and feminine, there can be both genders together also. How? I am a girl or someone else who is talking becomes an I. He or she can either be a girl or a boy. Very simple. We as a group can be a group of girls, boys or both together also. You can be a boy or a girl, both. I don't know whether a girl is watching my video or a boy, right? You are both a girl student and a boy student. Both are watching my videos, right? So, you is also a gender neutral. Your, our and us. All these are the examples of both masculine and feminine genders because both the genders can be covered in this section. Next we have a case. There are three cases of nouns and pronouns. Now, nouns और pronouns के हमारे पास three cases given हैं. They show the relation of nouns and pronouns to other words in a sentence. ये nouns and pronouns के relation को दिखाते हैं other sentences में. How? Let us see. Nominative case. What is a nominative case? The pronoun which is the subject of its clause takes the nominative case. अब वो pronoun जो subject होता है, okay, subject आपको पता है, you have already learned in the previous classes what is the subject. When in a subject, what we are talking about is a subject, right? In a sentence, what we are talking about is a subject. Objective or accusative case. Now what is this? If the pronoun is an object, अगर वो pronoun कोई object है, it takes the objective case. It normally takes the objective case. Third one we have is possessive case. Possessive case कौन सा होता है? Where if the pronoun is a modifier, that is modified the sense of another word. जब किसी दूसरे word का वो sense change कर देता है या modify कर देता है अपने according, it takes the possessive case. Let's see. A table for this is also given, and we can easily learn these pronouns and understand these pronouns very easily with its help. First person in nominative case is I and we. Nominative case, that is the subject. When it becomes the subject, I and we will come under the first person category. Objective case में we will have me and us, okay? And in possessive case we have my, mine, our and ours. So in possessive case, because these words show ownership or possession. Now in second person, in nominative case we have you. Objective case also it is you, and in possessive case it becomes your and yours. Alright. Now in third person we have he, she, it and they in nominative case. In objective case we have her, him, it and them. And in possessive case we again have her, his, hers, its, their and theirs. Alright. Now let's move forward towards reflexive pronouns. So this is the second kind of pronouns that we are going to read now. When the action of the subject reflects upon itself. When the action of a subject reflects upon itself. उसके actions उसके लिए ही, उसके ऊपर ही reflect करते हैं. It is called the reflexive pronouns. Hi, I questioned myself. The question is reflected on the subject. I am questioning myself. So the action is reflected upon me only. Alright. So it becomes a reflexive pronoun. What becomes a reflexive pronoun? Myself becomes a reflexive pronoun. Because the pronoun is showing that the action is reflected upon the pronoun only or the subject only. She went herself. She went herself. Again the same case. You blamed yourself and they discovered land themselves. So in these four sentences, the actions of the subject are reflected on themselves only. Right? The word self is added to certain forms of personal pronouns to form reflexive pronouns. So reflexive pronouns को बनाने के लिए we are adding the word self in some pronouns. The plural pronouns take the plural form selves. अब जो भी plural pronouns होगी उसमें हम self की जगह selves add करेंगे. Alright, that is very simple for you to understand because it is following the rule of a normal singular or plural case. Right? Now, looking at the following singular, we will add my plus self. It becomes myself. Your plus self becomes yourself. Him plus self becomes himself, and it plus self becomes itself. Now, in plurals, the plural words are given. Our will be added with selves and not self. Our selves, ourselves. Now, yourselves, you is plural also. Them plus selves, themselves. So, these are all the examples of reflexive pronouns. Let's move forward to our next kind of pronouns, that is emphatic pronouns. When the above reflexive pronouns are placed after the subject, जब reflexive pronouns को हम subject के बाद place करते हैं, to emphasize a particular point, they are called emphatic pronouns. किस लिए हम place करते हैं? किसी point को emphasize करने के लिए. So they are called emphatic pronouns. For example, she herself saved the puzzle. Now, we are adding the reflexive pronoun after the subject, right after the subject, to emphasize on something. किसी चीज पर हम अच्छे से emphasize कर रहे हैं, उसको point out कर रहे हैं. So, this comes emphatic pronouns. Okay? The kind of pronoun is same, but we are changing the case or situation. We ourselves confessed our guilt. हमने खुद ही अपना guilt confess करा, right? So it is also to emphasize that we did it ourselves. We are emphasizing on it, right? So it becomes emphatic pronouns. Don't be confused in between these two, because these emphatic pronouns cannot function as a subject. Okay? Now, the fourth kind of pronouns is indefinite pronouns. When a pronoun is referred to persons or things in a general way, it is called indefinite pronoun. जब हम इनको generally use कर रहे हैं, so these will not be the same pronouns. Let's see what are the general pronouns. All are equal. Everyone is equal, right? One must do one's duty. Some cross the road. A few will recover. So these are all used for general persons, places or things, right? So these come under the category of indefinite pronouns. It is not definite. Now we have our fifth kind, that is demonstrative pronouns. What are demonstrative pronouns? That point to the objects or direct to the objects they refer to. So they are called demonstrative pronouns. For example, this, that, these, those, etc. So these nouns or pronouns, they point or they direct to the object that they refer to. So basically this, that, these, those are the example of demonstrative pronouns. जो demonstrate करते हैं, जो point out करते हैं. Alright? Next we have distributive pronouns. What are distributive pronouns? Pronouns that refer to persons, places or things at a time are called distributive. जो more than one thing को एक बार में एक sentence में point कर रहे हैं. For example, each, either, neither and every. So they are pointing a person, place or thing at a same time. Okay? For example, either and or. Either she will do it or he will do it. Right? So they are pointing to he and she together. Right? Now we have relative pronouns. Pronouns who, whose, whom, which, that, which join two sentences after a noun are called relative pronouns. So basically when these words are used to join sentences are called relative pronouns. The noun to which a relative pronoun refers or relates is called antecedent. वो noun जिसको relative pronouns refer करते हैं, they are known as antecedents. Example, Rabindranath Tagore was a great poet who got the Nobel Prize. He has gotten the Nobel Prize, Rabindranath Tagore, students. So, now we are joining two sentences about Rabindranath Tagore who got the Nobel Prize. So, this word who is joining these two sentences and it becomes the relative pronoun. Here, poet is the antecedent of who. So, who किसको point कर रहा है? Poet को. So, the poet becomes antecedent. It may be noted that relative pronouns also join two sentences. Hence, they act as a conjunction too. So, now as we can see that they are joining two sentences and also is a pronoun. So, it becomes a conjunction too. Okay? Now, we have interrogative pronouns. What are interrogative pronouns? Well, with the name we can understand that interrogative means it is related to questions. Pronouns that are used to ask questions are interrogative pronouns. वो nouns जो question ask करने में हमारी help करते हैं. That is who, whose, whom, why, what, when, where, which, how many, how much, etc. So here we are using these to ask questions. In previous ones we used them to refer to a noun. So these two are very much different. Don't get confused between them. When we are asking questions, it is an interrogative pronoun. Now, use of it as a pronoun. We are going to see the use of it as a pronoun. The word it is the third person in singular number and is used in place of lifeless objects. So, or birds, animals, insects, children, time, weather, etc. So, it is basically used for non-living things or for birds, for animals, for children, for insects, for time and for weather. So for these things we are using it as a pronoun. It is doubtful whether he will help us or not. It is better to give the system a little reset. It was a beggar who was overrun by a car. When I saw the child, it was sleeping. It was sleeping. We are using it for a child. When we don't know the particular gender of a child or a baby, we use it in its place. It was I who finished the lecture in time. So these are all the examples that you have to understand. However, when a sentence tends to point to the sex of an animal, he or she is used instead. When we don't know the gender of an animal, a bird, an insect, we will use it. But when we are talking about its gender, then only we will use he or she. Alright? For example, there is a lioness in the corner with her cubs. Now we know the particular gender of the animal, that it is a feminine, that it is a female. That's why we are using a feminine pronoun for it, right? Now the horse galloped bravely, bleeding through his nose. Here also we have the gender specific given. So we are using a gender specific pronoun, that is a masculine. Now, similarly, when referring to a child, that does not denote the sex of the child. जब किसी child का हमको gender denote नहीं हो रहा है in a sentence, it will be used in the place. But it would be difficult for a mother to call the child it. A mother cannot call her child it. So he or she is used. A mother will always use he or she because she knows the gender, right? Also, pet animals are considered as member of the family and therefore pronouns appropriate to their sexes are used. Okay, so when you have a pet dog, whether he is a male or she is a female, so we consider them a family member, and when they become our family member, we use gender specific pronouns for them. We don't call our dogs it, we call them either he or she. Alright, so this was a very good example for you people. Now let's see some examples. Manish is a good boy. He lent his bicycle to Rekha. Mrinalini is a beautiful girl. She stood first in the dance competition. Tapas and Badal are diligent. They work hard. When two nouns are joined with and, plural pronouns should be used for them. When we are using two nouns together, like Tapas and Badal are diligent. Now we are using they, a plural pronoun, because we have been talking about two people. So, when we are joining two nouns with and, plural pronouns should be used for them. However, when both nouns points to a single person, जब दोनों नाउन किसी एक सिंगल पर्सन को पॉइंट करते हैं और थिंग को पॉइंट करते हैं, singular pronoun should be used. For example, Ankit and Atul are diligent, they work hard. Here two people are given, so we are using they. Okay? The chairman and secretary met with an accident. So, he breathed his last yesterday. One person. So, now we are talking about one person only. Okay? So, we are using he here. Singular pronoun. The chairman and the secretary were injured in an accident. They were admitted to an hospital. Now, we are talking about two people. So, they is used here. So, this is very clear for you all when to use a singular pronoun and when to use a plural one. The word each and every takes singular pronoun. each and every word are used with singular ones. For example, every prisoner was given sweets. Now we are not using prisoners here. It will be wrong. Alright. Now, every bowler bowled his quota of 10 overs. So again we are using singulars here. Why we are using this singular pronoun? Because when two or more pronouns are used as subjects in sentence, the second person override. First, let me clear this one for you all. When we are using each and every, they will take always singular pronouns. Okay? Now, our next condition is when two or more pronouns are used as subjects, when we are using more than one pronoun as a subject in a sentence, the second person comes first. Second person will come first and first person will come later on. Followed by the third person, then third person will come and the first person comes at the last. So the equation is 2, 3, 1. You, him and I. You, he and I will go for a picnic. So we are using the second person first, next the third person, and then the first person comes after that. You, second person, Kalpana, third person, and I, first person, are best friends. So again we are using the same equation. You and I have to attend the meeting. Or if the third person is not there in the sentence, the first person will follow the second person. Alright? He and I have no misunderstanding between us. Or when there is no second person, first person will follow the third person. Okay? Now, you and he love Lucy. You and he love Lucy. Alright? So these are the equations that we have been using in our examples. Now let's see. Pronouns should be used in nominative or objective cases as per the meaning of a sentence. Pronouns को हम nominative या फिर objective case में use करते हैं as per the meaning of a sentence. Sentence के meaning के base पर. If they are expected to be active, use nominative case, otherwise objective case. If they are expected to be active, so हम use करेंगे nominative case. For example, he loves you more than I. Now this is a wrong sentence. He loves you more than me. Why? Why is this incorrect and why this is correct? Because this is not active. We are using objective case here. He loves you more than me. Okay? It was her who gave me this gift. No, we will not use nominative case here. It was she, objective case, sorry, who gave me this gift. Okay? Now, incorrect one is I am him who you gave a punch. No, this one is wrong. I am he whom you gave a punch. Okay? Again, you are thinner than me. Again, we are doing this wrong. You are thinner than I. So, some of the words are silent in such kind of sentences. You have to be very careful while doing these. Okay? Alright? Now, we are going to read about some common errors in uses of pronouns. Common mistakes that people make in pronouns. So, here in this part we have given the incorrect ones and in this column we are giving the correct. So, myself, he and you went to the market. No, you know that we have used an equation to put such sentences. In such sentences we will use the second person first, then the third person and then the first person. The correct sentence will be you, he and I went to market. Every Hindu and every Christian did their duty for the country. It's wrong, as I have already told you. Every and each takes singular pronouns. Every Hindu and every Christian did his duty for the country. Alright? Now, Priya dances better than her. No, it is an active case. Priya dances better than she. Alright? I and my friend enjoyed a lot. No, first person will not come in the beginning of the sentence when we are using a third person or a second person. Now, or if we are using first person first, we will use reflexive case. I and my friend enjoyed ourselves a lot. The climate of Shimla is better than Kanpur. The climate of Shimla is better than that of Kanpur. When we are comparing, we will make sentence like this and not like this. It is me who is at fault. No, it is I who is at fault. Now we have here, she is the girl whom I think will win the scholarship. She is the girl who I think will win the scholarship. Alright? Now, this is no business of you. This is no big business of yours. Here we are talking in possessive case. Okay? No business of yours. Shakespeare is one of the greatest poets that has ever lived. No, it will be Shakespeare is one of the greatest poets that have ever lived. Poets, here we are using a plural word, right? He does not like me reading novels. He does not like my reading novels. मेरा novels पढ़ना उसे पसंद नहीं है. मैं novels पढ़ रहा हूँ ये नहीं. This one is the wrong one and this is the correct one that we have here. So that was all for your chapter today. Next we have this exercise given which you have to do on the basis of your understanding. Alright, so that's it for today. I hope the chapter was very interesting for you all. So keep on learning. I will see you in the next video. Till then, bye-bye.